time now for a look at our tropical weather update. We'll feature two concerns right now. One over the southwestern Gulf of Mexico. We'll talk about that one in just a quick second. And also, we'll talk about a brand new tropical depression over the Cape Verde Island region. This cluster of showers and storms on the move to the west very, very slowly. But the big news, of course, has to be Tropical Storm Bret. The 1 o'clock advisory Central Daylight Time. The center of circulation, which has been milling around the southwestern Gulf into the Bay of Campeche, it was centered at 19.9 degrees north, 94.6 degrees west, or about 260 miles to the southeast of Tampico, Mexico. Top sustained winds have been bumped up to 55 miles per hour from 45 miles per hour. The reason being, well, the hurricane hunters flew into this region, into the area of Bret late Thursday night. They saw a little bit of strengthening occurring, so they bumped the winds up to 55 miles per hour. The pressure dropped just a tad at 999 millibars, but again, the movement was very erratic and basically stationary. Looks like a movement more towards the west-northwest in time during the next couple of days. Now, the big impact coming up for Bret during the next several days, is it ever going to bother the western Gulf? We're talking about the northwestern Gulf like Louisiana and Texas. Well, why don't you just have to wait and see? Anytime you get something organizing over the western Gulf or the southwestern Gulf, you've got to really keep your eyes wide open for possible development farther northbound, if we will be doing that here at the Weather Channel for you. Now, later in the weekend, again, we could be looking at maybe something developing. We do expect Bret, by the way, to become at least a minimal hurricane within the next 2 or 2.5 days, shifting more towards the west and northwest. So it looks like the biggest impact right now is going to be some very heavy rainfall along the eastern Mexican coastline south of Brownsville, Texas over the next few days. Next 24 hours, well, we see tropical storm warnings out right now from Tampico, Mexico on southbound. There could be up to 8 inches of rainfall between now and about the next 24-hour period. So by early Saturday morning, they could get pounded just south of Tampico. Now, as far as the impact, as far as Bret is concerned, well, we've got this graph to show you what we do expect. The expected impact from Bret, mainly along the Mexican coastline. The wind is going to be marginal. Probably that will not be causing much in the way of any damage. The rain will be expected to be very, very heavy. So that impact is going to be high. Of course, the crashing waves, probably medium on the scale here, and of course the storm surge, with just a minimal hurricane at best, as we see it right now, will not be much of an impact. So we'll keep our eyes on Bret as it begins to strengthen slowly but surely into a hurricane as we see it at the present time within the next 2 or 2.5 days. Take a look at this right now, the Caribbean Sea. During the heating of the daytime hours, over land, lots of convection. Scattered showers and storms, dropping heavy amounts of rainfall. Especially across Cuba into Hispaniola, Puerto Rico wasn't really all that bad. Farther on towards the east, here's a look at the islands. Fair conditions. It was a fabulous day on Thursday, more of the same expected on Friday, because just to your east, not much is developing here. Looks like a couple of cumulus clouds, but no strong tropical wave is heading westbound at this time towards the islands. Now, farther on towards the east, right off the coast of Africa, you can see our low. That's a tropical low right there, and this tropical depression number 4. The 11 o'clock advisory Atlantic Standard Time, the center of tropical depression number 4 was at 14 degrees north, 23.6 degrees west, or 65 miles just about due south of the Cape Verde Islands. Top sustained winds, 35 miles per hour. It was moving west at 9 miles per hour, and the pressure estimated at 1,002 millibars. Poorly organized is this system right now, this tropical depression, but it could strengthen into a tropical storm within the next couple of days. We'll have to keep an eye on this one for sure, as right now encountering some northeasterly shear. Right now it's encountering a rather hostile environment as of the present time. Now, taking a look at the eastern Pacific Ocean, Tropical Storm Fernanda, we'd talk about that one, located about 985 miles west-southwest of Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. Top sustained winds 55 miles per hour. It was moving west at 7, also looking rather ragged right now. Not a very healthy system at this point, but it could strengthen into a tropical storm within the next couple of days. We've got more to go, including a look at Weather Center. That's coming up next. Please stay with us.
If you have love questions, call Psychic Talk for a free reading and get the answers you need.
Did you have an actual police officer come over to your house?
Yes, I did.
Did one of them ask you out?
Oh
Oh my God, it's totally embarrassing. Yes.
Go out with him. It's a match. It's a love match.
Thank you so much. Awesome. Oh my God, you guys are amazing. I'm definitely going to tell my friends to call.
Are you attracted to a friend that nobody knows?
Yes, I am.
Dark skin, light eye man.
Oh yeah, his name is James.
Does he work in a restaurant or a nightclub?
Yes, he's a bouncer. I just want to know if this is real.
This Storm Watch sponsored by PPG ProStars certified technicians. Coming up, a look at what could be some substantial rain in the east already this morning. Heavy downpours have hit Virginia and parts of Georgia and South Carolina. First, though, the tropics, and things are developing in the Atlantic for a change. It was back in June that we had Arlene, a tropical storm, and now we have another tropical storm. That is Tropical Storm Bret in the Bay of Campeche or the southwest Gulf of Mexico. Bret is forecast to become a hurricane within 36 hours. That is, conditions are favorable for continued strengthening. We'll talk more about Bret shortly. Other features on the Atlantic side: tropical wave here, very little convection with it, and a tropical depression in the eastern sections of the Atlantic Ocean just south of the Cape Verde Islands. Now for the latest on Tropical Storm Bret. It's located at 19.9 north and 94.6 west in the southwest Gulf of Mexico, the Bay of Campeche, 260 miles southeast of Tampico, Mexico. Top sustained winds as of 4 o'clock Central Time, 50 miles per hour. The movement is stationary. In other words, Bret is near an area where the winds aloft, the steering currents are very weak, so it's just sort of meandering out in this region. But the overall movement is expected to be towards the northwest. The pressure has fallen off to 999 millibars. Tropical storm warnings are in effect from Tampico, Mexico, southward along the eastern Gulf of Mexico, Mexican coastline. Here's your colorized satellite of the Gulf. And notice Bret right here over very warm water. Some banding is showing up. That is, bands of thunderstorms swirling in towards the center, which is covered up by thunderstorm activity. That's another favorable sign. Plus, upper level high pressure continues to envelop and strengthen in this area. So all signs point to intensification of Bret into a minimal hurricane within 36 hours. Once again, the most likely direction of movement is off towards the northwest. Will it ever have an effect on the United States? Well, if it does, the most likely area would be the southern part of Texas. But we'll just have to wait and see as Bret organizes over the next couple of days. We head out to the islands. They're in good shape. Barbados, Antigua, the U.S. and British Virgin Islands, excellent condition. Here's that tropical wave, devoid of any thunderstorm activity. So that's no threat at this time. Neither is the tropical depression here just south of the Cape Verde Islands, but it is an impressive system, and some strengthening can be expected during the next couple of days, although it will be slow to happen. The latest on TD, number 4, is 13.6 north and 24.7 west. That's 90 miles south of the Cape Verde Islands. Top sustained winds 35, and it's moving west at 10 with 1,002 millibar central pressure. Back to the western Caribbean, clusters of storms, nothing really showing any organization. Tropical storm Bret here, southwest Gulf of Mexico. Into the eastern Atlantic, we have a tropical storm too. That's Fernanda. But look at this, the low-level circulation becoming exposed, the thunderstorms dying away. So Fernanda is not looking all that healthy for an eastern Pacific tropical storm at this time. It's 16.5 north and 124.4 west. Top sustained winds 45 miles per hour. We are going to the western Pacific now, and this is Tropical Storm Sam, northern end of the Philippine Islands. It's moving off to the northwest, probably will strengthen into a typhoon during the next couple of days and impact eventually southeastern sections of China. All right, back to the states. Most of the nation having a pretty quiet morning, but showers and storms in the southwest and in the east. Look at western New York. It's wet. Syracuse to Buffalo, Rochester, south through the Finger Lakes, central Pennsylvania, Williamsport to Harrisburg, heavy showers, southern New Jersey and southeast Virginia, as well as the Richmond, Charlottesville, Danville and Buena Vista areas in Virginia and parts of North Carolina. Heavy showers for you, Charlotte west and northwest to Raleigh-Durham, and very heavy rains have been falling overnight in southeast Virginia. Here's our thunderstorm forecast for the day, widening out. Parts of the west will have heavy storms too, with locally heavy rainfall and substantial rain for parts of the east. Here's a look at current temperatures and dew points over the lower 48. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
What's the weather going to be like where you're traveling to tomorrow? Find out with a wake-up call from 1-900-WEATHER. Call 1-900-WEATHER, 95 cents a minute from a touch-tone phone.
This program was sponsored by PPG ProStars Certified Technicians. Call the PPG ProStars location nearest you.
If your replacement windshield isn't installed properly, you could have a slight leaking problem. That's why you should go to the pros. PPG ProStars Certified Technicians. Whether you need your windshield repaired or replaced, they're professionals who do the job right the first time. For auto glass repair or replacement, look for PPG ProStars Certified Technicians.
Call the PPG ProStars located nearest you to repair or replace your windshield.
This Storm Watch sponsored by Home Depot. Well, it's raining in the east and it may continue to rain off and on through this upcoming weekend. Some beneficial precipitation in the forecast for you. More on that coming up. First, let's go to the tropics, and in the Atlantic we have actually in the Gulf of Mexico, but on the Atlantic side we have the second tropical storm of the season. That is Tropical Storm Bret, and the forecast is for Bret to become a hurricane within 36 hours. If it does, it would be the first hurricane of the season. Bret over here in the southwest Gulf of Mexico. Details coming up here shortly. First, a look at the big picture. There's upper level low pressure here and another disturbed area of weather in the eastern Atlantic. This is our tropical depression, and I'll have some detail on that too for you in just a moment. First, the latest information on Tropical Storm Bret. As of 7 o'clock Central Time, 20.4 north, 94.8 west, 235 miles southeast of Tampico, Mexico. Top sustained winds 50 miles per hour, though some strengthening has been noted by the Hurricane Hunter aircraft, which has been flying out in the system.